In the year 2420, humanity's reach extends beyond the solar system, participating actively in the Galactic Council, a collective of intelligent species aimed at maintaining peace and promoting interstellar cooperation. Captain Lisa Nguyen commands the spaceship Odyssey, a vessel tasked with exploration and scientific research. On a routine mission charting unexplored territories near the outer rim of known space, the Odyssey detects unusual energy readings emanating from a previously undocumented planet, designated as Viridia in their star charts. The readings suggest a biosphere rich in life, an anomaly in the typically barren regions of the outer rim. Curious and sensing the potential for a groundbreaking discovery, Captain Nguyen orders a cautious approach. The Odyssey's crew, composed of astrophysicists, biologists, and xenolinguists, prepare for a surface expedition. Among them is Dr. Mark Benson, an exobiologist, and Emily Zhao, a specialist in alien communication. As they descend through Viridia's atmosphere, they're greeted by an awe-inspiring sight: vast forests emitting a bioluminescent glow and rivers that shimmer with iridescent colors under the planet's twin suns. The sensors confirm that the planet is teeming with life, yet it's unlike anything documented before. The team lands near the edge of a luminescent forest. The environment is tranquil, and the air vibrates with a harmonious hum that suggests the presence of life around every corner. As they venture deeper into the forest, they encounter the Delos, a race of ethereal beings composed of light and energy. The Delos are delicate and seemingly fragile, communicating through a series of luminous pulses and subtle telepathic waves. The initial interactions are cautious but filled with wonder. The Delos, understanding the humans' peaceful intentions, reveal their plight through a mixture of telepathy and visual imagery. They are the last of their kind, struggling against a devastating cosmic plague that saps their light and life force. The Delos had remained hidden, fearing contact with other races might lead to their exploitation or hasten their demise. Touched by their gentle nature and dire situation, Captain Nguyen promises to advocate for their cause. As the Odyssey's crew prepares to leave, Luminera, a Delos elder, imparts a plea mixed with hope, asking the humans not to forget them, and to help find a cure for the affliction that decimates their people. Back aboard the Odyssey, Captain Nguyen and her crew compile their findings and prepare for a contentious debate. They must convince the Galactic Council that despite the risks, the Delos deserve aid. The fate of an entire race hangs in the balance, setting the stage for a broader discussion on the responsibilities of power and the ethics of intervention in a galaxy where not all voices are heard equally. The Odyssey's return journey to the Galactic Hub, where the Council convenes, is tense with anticipation. Captain Lisa Nguyen spends the voyage preparing her appeal, supported by Dr. Mark Benson and Emily Zhao, who compile comprehensive data and testimonies about their encounter with the Delos. Upon arrival, the Odyssey is met by a flurry of diplomatic activity. News of an uncontacted species and a new planet has leaked, stirring interest and concern among the various Council species. Captain Nguyen secures an emergency session to discuss the plight of the Delos, understanding the delicacy and urgency of the situation. The Galactic Council chambers are imposing, designed to represent the vastness of space and the diversity of life within it. Representatives of different species, from the reptilian scars to the avian-like aeroliths, fill the circular seating, their features illuminated by the ambient light of the central holographic projector. As the session begins, Captain Nguyen takes the podium. She presents the Thalos situation with compelling imagery and emotional appeals, showing holograms of the luminescent Delos and their dying world. Dr. Benson provides a scientific briefing on the cosmic plague, detailing its properties and the threat it poses not only to the Delos but potentially to other life forms if it were to spread. Emily Zhao speaks on the unique culture and peaceful nature of the Delos, emphasizing their non-aggressive telepathy and the potential loss of their profound understanding of light and energy manipulation. She plays recordings of the Thalos light communication, which resonate throughout the chamber in a display of haunting beauty. Despite their efforts, the response from the Council is mixed. While some members express sympathy and a willingness to help, others raise concerns about the dangers of the plague. The predominant fear is that any intervention might inadvertently expose other worlds to the contagion. Debates ensue, with political and safety concerns clashing against moral arguments. The turning point comes when a leading representative of the Centauri, a highly influential species known for their cautious policies, argues that the risk outweighs the potential benefits. They propose a resolution to quarantine Viridia, effectively isolating the Delos and preventing any council species from making contact. The vote is cast, and to the dismay of Captain Gwen and her crew, the resolution passes with a significant majority. The council orders an immediate quarantine barrier around Viridia, under the supervision of the galactic enforcement units. They declare the planet and its inhabitants off-limits, warning of severe consequences for any unauthorized attempts to breach the quarantine. Devastated but not defeated, Captain Gwen vows to find another way to help the Delos. As the Odyssey crew leaves the council chambers, they are approached by a few representatives of smaller, less influential species who express their disagreement with the council's decision and offer their discreet support. Determined to challenge the might of the Galactic Council, Captain Gwen plans to return to Viridia. She knows that defying such a directive comes with great risks, but the plight of the Delos and the possibility of their extinction compel her to act, setting the stage for a daring mission to save a dying race. Under the cloak of night and the silent hum of the Odyssey's engines, Captain Lisa Gwen orchestrates a covert mission to return to Viridia. She understands the enormity of defying the Galactic Council's orders, but the moral imperative to aid the Delos outweighs the potential consequences. Dr. Mark Benson and Emily Zhao, along with a select crew of scientists and engineers, volunteer to join her, all ready to risk their careers and more for the Delos. Before they embark, the crew meticulously plans their approach to avoid detection by the galactic enforcement units patrolling the quarantine zone. The Odyssey's engineer, Alex Wren, devises a plan to modify the ship's signature, effectively making it invisible to standard sensors. The ship skirts the edge of the quarantine barrier, using the natural magnetic fields of Viridia's twin suns to mask their final approach. As they land on Viridia, the atmosphere is tense, not just because of the illegal nature of their return, but also due to the uncertainty of what they might find. They had left the Delos struggling against a relentless decline, and there were no guarantees about what awaited them. To their relief, they find the Delos alive but noticeably weaker. Luminera, the Delos elder, greets them with a faint glow, her energy dimmed but her resolve strong. She expresses profound gratitude for their return, touching their minds with a wave of warmth and welcome. The humans are moved, their resolve hardened. Captain Gwen and her team set up a makeshift laboratory using equipment brought from the Odyssey. Dr. Benson spearheads the scientific efforts, analyzing the plague at a molecular level with samples collected during their previous visit. The challenge is immense, but initial tests reveal that the plague operates by disrupting the light-based cellular structure of the Delos, offering a starting point for developing a treatment. Meanwhile, Emily works closely with the Delos, learning more about their history and culture. She discovers that the Delos once had a flourishing civilization, capable of incredible feats of energy manipulation and environmental harmony. Their decline had been slow, a result of the cosmic plague that they were powerless to stop alone. As days turn into nights, the team makes progress, but the threat of discovery looms large. They maintain strict radio silence, knowing that any communication could betray their position. Back in the galactic hub, rumors begin to circulate about a ship resembling the Odyssey spotted near the quarantine zone, putting the Council on high alert. Back on Viridia, the team's efforts begin to bear fruit. Dr. Benson isolates a peculiar enzyme within the plague that could potentially be inhibited to stop its progression. This breakthrough offers a glimmer of hope, not just for curing the plague but also for proving to the Council that the Delos can be saved without risking the spread of the disease. However, just as they start to see a path forward, their mission is jeopardized. A surveillance drone, slipped through the quarantine enforcement unnoticed, hovers near their location, its sensors likely recording their every move. The team must now deal with the imminent threat of being discovered, potentially facing severe penalties for their defiance of the Council's directive. As the chapter closes, Captain Gwen faces a critical decision on how to evade capture while continuing their mission to save the Delos, setting the stage for even greater challenges ahead. With the surveillance drone looming ominously overhead, the stakes are higher than ever for Captain Lisa Nguyen and her team. Quick thinking is required to handle the situation without escalating their risk of discovery. Alex Wren, the engineer, takes a calculated risk by using a directed electromagnetic pulse, EMP, to disable the drone. The EMP successfully knocks out the drone without leaving a trace back to their location, buying the team some much-needed time. Once the immediate threat is neutralized, the team refocuses on their primary mission. Dr. Mark Benson continues his research into the plague, working alongside the Delos scientists who share their ancient knowledge and unique perspectives on their biological structure. Together, they delve into the Viridian archives, a trove of data preserved in crystalline structures that require telepathic activation, a task only the Delos and Emily, with her newly developed empathic abilities, can manage. These archives reveal that the Delos were once a technologically advanced civilization, with a deep understanding of energy manipulation and quantum biology. They uncover schematics for devices that were designed to enhance their natural abilities of light manipulation, some of which could potentially be adapted to fight the plague. Emily Zhao, deeply moved by the Thalos trust and openness, works tirelessly to bridge the gap between human technology and Thelosian energy techniques. She discovers that the plague acts like a dampening field, suppressing the Thalos ability to regenerate their bioluminescent cells. The solution may lie in an ancient device, referred to in the archives as the Lumina Siphon, which was once used to amplify and stabilize their light energy. The team decides to rebuild the Lumina Siphon with the help of their engineering crew and the Delos elders. This device could potentially reverse the dampening effects of the plague by reinvigorating the Thalos cells with amplified energy directly from Viridia's magnetic field, which is uniquely intense due to its twin suns. Reconstruction of the device is challenging due to the degradation of the original materials and the complexity of its design. Captain Nguyen authorizes a small team to covertly gather specific minerals and components from various locations on Viridia, ensuring that their activities remain hidden from any prying eyes still monitoring the quarantine zone. As they assemble the Lumina Siphon, Captain Nguyen and Dr. Benson witness the first successful demonstration of its core mechanism, a captivating display of light and energy that revitalizes a small group of the Delos volunteers. The effect is temporary but promising, proving the concept works and providing a crucial proof of concept. With the device's potential confirmed, the next step involves scaling up the technology and conducting a full-scale test, which presents its own set of risks and challenges. The team needs more time, more resources, and most importantly, the continued secrecy of their operation. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council grows increasingly suspicious of the activities near the quarantine zone, prompting them to send a more thorough investigation team to Viridia. The clock is ticking for Captain Nguyen and her crew to finalize their cure before they are discovered and forced to confront the Council directly. As the chapter closes, the team prepares for the crucial upcoming test of the Lumina Siphon, hoping that their efforts will not only save the Delos but also change the minds of the Galactic Council. As the Odyssey's crew works tirelessly to scale up the Lumina Siphon, the relationship between the humans and the Delos deepens. Shared goals and mutual respect weave a strong bond of camaraderie and trust among them. Emily Zhao becomes the bridge between the two races, her understanding of Thelosian culture and telepathy growing deeper each day. She spends long hours with Luminera, the Delos elder, who teaches her more about their people's legacy and the powers they hold. During one of these sessions, Emily discovers that the Thalos ability to manipulate light can do more than just illuminate, they can heal. The Delos use their bioluminescence to enhance cellular regeneration, a technique forgotten under the strain of the plague. This revelation presents a new avenue for curing the disease. If they can restore the Thalos energy manipulation capabilities fully, they might naturally overcome the plague's effects. Inspired by this insight, Dr. Mark Benson incorporates these healing techniques into the Lumina Siphon's design, modifying it to not just stabilize the Thalos light energy but also enhance their inherent regenerative abilities. The task is complex, requiring precise calibration to match the unique energy signature of each Delos being treated. Meanwhile, Captain Lisa Nguyen works on fortifying their position on Viridia. She coordinates with Alex Wren and other crew members to set up defensive measures and surveillance countermeasures around their base. They cannot afford any interruptions in their critical experiments, especially not from the Galactic Council's investigative teams, which are drawing dangerously close to discovering their operation. As the final adjustments to the Lumina siphon are made, the team conducts a full-scale test with a group of the Los volunteers, including Luminera. The community gathers, watching with a mix of hope and fear. The device is activated at dusk, casting a brilliant net of light over the gathered Los. Slowly, their luminance increases, their colors become more vibrant, and their energy palpably shifts, signs of their returning strength. The test proves successful beyond anyone's expectations. Not only does the device stabilize the Thalos condition, but it also visibly rejuvenates them. Cheers and light pulses of joy ripple through the crowd, a celebration mirrored by the human team. For the first time since the plague began, there is real hope. But their success does not go unnoticed. The energy surge from the Lumina siphon test is detected by a Council surveillance satellite. In a matter of hours, Captain Gwyn receives a transmission from the Council demanding an explanation for the unauthorized energy emissions from within the quarantine zone. The message is clear: they have been discovered, and the Council is not pleased. Facing imminent confrontation, Captain Gwyn must now prepare to defend their actions. She organizes a meeting with her team to strategize their next moves. They need to secure more time to distribute the cure to all the Los and gather enough evidence to convince the Council of their mission's necessity and success. Emily, deeply connected to the Los and now fluent in their method of communication, suggests a bold plan. They would present their case directly to the Galactic Council, not just as a human team, but alongside the Los, showing the Council firsthand the suffering of the Los and the effectiveness of their cure. It's a risky move, but it might be the only way to save the Los from extinction. As the chapter closes, the team prepares for the journey back to the Galactic Hub, armed with their new knowledge and a renewed determination to fight for the Thalos survival. They know the road ahead is fraught with political and ethical challenges, but they are ready to face them together. With the successful test of the Lumina siphon and their discovery by the Galactic Council, tension aboard the Odyssey escalates. As Captain Leeson Gwen and her team prepare their defense and plan their return to the Galactic Hub, a new threat emerges from within. The team had been meticulous about keeping their operation secret, but small discrepancies begin to surface in their communication logs and equipment inventories. These discrepancies go unnoticed at first, overshadowed by the urgent need to prepare for the confrontation with the Council. However, Alex Wren, the engineer, stumbles upon irregular access patterns in the ship's database during a routine security check. He brings his findings to Captain Gwen, who calls for an immediate and discreet investigation. While the team investigates internally, they continue their efforts to stabilize and expand the use of the Lumina siphon among the Los. Emily Zhao works closely with the Los elders, documenting their recovery and preparing testimonials and visual evidence of the cure's effectiveness. Their hope is that this evidence will humanize the Los plight and sway the Council's opinion. As the internal investigation deepens, the security team discovers that one of their own, a junior scientist named Cora Tellen, has been secretly transmitting data to an unknown recipient outside the Odyssey. Confronted with the evidence, Cora confesses to being coerced by a powerful lobby within the Galactic Council that opposes any interference with less advanced civilizations, fearing unpredictable shifts in the political landscape. Cora reveals that she was approached with promises of career advancement and threats against her family should she refuse to cooperate. Her task was to sabotage the mission by providing false data that would undermine the team's findings and efforts to develop the cure. The sabotage had been subtle, tweaking data, mislabeling samples, and introducing small errors into the Lumina siphon's design. The betrayal hits the team hard, shaking their trust in one another. Captain Gwen, however, focuses on damage control and the larger picture. She addresses the crew, reinforcing their purpose and the importance of their mission, urging them to not let this setback deter them. With Cora's cooperation, they manage to trace her communications and prepare countermeasures against further interference. The discovery of the betrayal also provides a new angle for their defense against the Council's charges. It highlights the lengths to which some members of the Council will go to maintain the status quo, underscoring the political motivations overshadowing the ethical considerations of helping the Delos. As they finalize preparations to confront the Council, the team also works to repair the sabotage. The engineering crew, led by Alex, works double-time to correct the flawed parts of the Lumina siphon and secure their systems against further intrusions. Emily and the biologists help the Delos to administer the refined cure, restoring them to full strength and ensuring they are a living testament to the success of the mission. With the team reunited in their resolve and the Delos beginning to thrive again, they ready themselves to leave Viridia. The evidence of sabotage and the visual proof of the Thalos recovery strengthen their case. Captain Gwyn plans to bring these revelations to light at the Council, aiming to expose the political underpinnings that have endangered an entire species. As the chapter closes, the Odyssey sets course for the galactic hub, its crew determined to challenge the Council's decree and advocate for the Thalos right to survive and thrive. The journey ahead promises not only to be a fight for the Delos but a battle for the soul of the Galactic Council itself. As the Odyssey speeds toward the galactic hub, Captain Lisa Nguyen and her team prepare for what might be the most significant confrontation of their careers. Knowing the political landscape is stacked against them, they meticulously craft their presentation, integrating the evidence of the cure's effectiveness with the recent revelation of sabotage. The mood aboard the ship is one of cautious optimism mixed with an undeniable tension. The crew rehearses their roles, with Emily Zhao and Dr. Mark Benson preparing to deliver detailed scientific reports. Meanwhile, Alex Wren ensures all data from their mission is unassailable, triple-checking every figure and footnote. Upon arrival at the galactic hub, the atmosphere is thick with political intrigue. News of their defiance and the rumors of a successful cure have spread, creating a divided sentiment among the Council members. Some see the crew as heroes who took a necessary stand against an overly cautious bureaucracy. Others view them as reckless, having violated clear directives and potentially endangering the galaxy. Captain Gwyn secures a hearing before the Council, where she is allowed to present their findings. The chamber is filled with representatives from across the galaxy, the air crackling with anticipation. The hearing begins with the Council's lead prosecutor outlining the charges against the Odyssey's crew, emphasizing the breach of quarantine and the potential risks their actions might have posed. When it's her turn, Captain Gwyn steps forward, calm yet assertive. She begins by addressing the severity of their decision to defy the Council, framing it as a necessary act to prevent a great injustice, the extinction of the Delos. She introduces Dr. Benson, who presents compelling data on the plague and the effectiveness of the Lumina siphon. His presentation includes before and after imagery of the Delos, their luminance visibly restored, and scientific data confirming the reversal of the plague's effects. Emily then takes the floor, sharing her experiences with the Thalos culture, their peaceful nature, and the ethical implications of abandoning a sentient race to extinction. Her emotional testimony, combined with recordings of the Delos communications, moves many in the audience. The turning point comes when Alex presents evidence of the sabotage, revealing the extent to which some Council factions had gone to prevent their mission. The revelation causes a stir among the Council members, with accusations and denials echoing through the chamber. In a bold move, Captain Gwyn invites Luminera, who had been brought discreetly to the hub, to address the Council. Her appearance is a shock to many, especially her radiant, restored form, which serves as a living testament to the cure's success. Luminera communicates telepathically, her message resonating directly in the minds of the attendees, sharing her people's gratitude and their desire for peace and cooperation with the galactic community. The Council is forced to recess, the members deeply divided and needing to deliberate the complex layers of legal, ethical, and political ramifications. Outside the chambers, public opinion shifts noticeably in favor of the Odyssey's crew, with news feeds and social media buzzing with debates and support for the Delos. As the chapter closes, Captain Gwyn and her team await the Council's decision, hopeful yet prepared for any outcome. They have done everything in their power, their case made not just with facts and data, but with a clear moral vision. The fate of the Delos now lies in the hands of those who govern the stars. The Galactic Council reconvenes after a tense period of deliberation, with representatives from across the galaxy gathering to witness the final decision regarding the fate of the Delos and the actions of Captain Leeson Gwen and her team. The chamber buzzes with whisper conversations and last-minute lobbying, reflecting the high stakes of the upcoming vote. Captain Gwen and her crew sit together, a unified front in the face of uncertainty. Emily Zhao holds a data pad with additional notes and observations about the Delos, prepared to counter any last-minute objections. Dr. Mark Benson reviews his scientific data one final time, ensuring he can accurately respond to technical queries. The session is called to order, and the lead counselor rises to address the assembly. He recounts the proceedings, the evidence presented, and the revelations of internal sabotage that have cast a shadow over the Council's initial decision to quarantine Viridia. The atmosphere is charged, with every representative acutely aware of the historical significance of their next actions. Debate opens with several representatives expressing their changed perspectives in light of the evidence. A particularly influential member from a species known for their medical advancements speaks in favor of lifting the quarantine, citing the scientific breakthroughs achieved by Captain Nguyen's team and the ethical implications of denying a cure to the Delos. Opposition remains, however, with a few counselors arguing about the potential dangers of setting a precedent for defying council orders. They stress the importance of maintaining authority and control over quarantine protocols to protect the galaxy from unknown threats. As the debate unfolds, Luminera is invited once more to speak. This time, she focuses on the future, sharing a vision of Thelosian integration into the galactic community. She speaks of the benefits of shared knowledge and cultural exchange, appealing to the Council's founding principles of unity and mutual prosperity. After hours of debate, the counselors are called to vote. The tension is palpable as each representative casts their vote. Slowly, a majority forms in favor of lifting the quarantine and endorsing the widespread distribution of the cure to the Delos population. The final tally is announced, and the chamber erupts in a mix of applause and dissent. The quarantine is officially lifted, and the Odyssey's crew is commended for their bravery and dedication to saving the Delos. The Council also orders an investigation into the sabotage, promising accountability for those responsible. Relieved and vindicated, Captain Gwen and her team are given the authority to oversee the distribution of the Lumina siphon technology across Viridia. The cure is refined and produced on a larger scale, with shipments prepared under the supervision of Dr. Benson and his team, ensuring that every Delos community receives the necessary treatment. Over the following weeks, the Delos experience a remarkable recovery. Their planet, once dimming, begins to glow brightly again, its forests and rivers shimmering with renewed life. The successful revival of the Delos becomes a beacon of hope and a testament to the potential of cooperation and compassion in the galaxy. As the chapter closes, the Odyssey prepares to return to Earth, its mission complete. The crew looks back at Viridia, a symbol of their achievement, and forward to their next adventure, knowing they've changed the course of history for an entire race and perhaps for the Galactic Council itself. The story of their defiance and triumph spreads far and wide, inspiring others across the stars. After the successful intervention on Viridia, the Odyssey's crew becomes celebrated across the galaxy. The story of their daring defiance and the subsequent redemption of the Delos resonates widely, sparking debates and discussions on interstellar policy and ethics. News of their actions and the Council's decision to lift the quarantine spreads through various media, reaching distant colonies and ships, inspiring a new perspective on the role of the Galactic Council and the potential for change within the galactic community. Captain Leeson Gwen and her team are invited to speak at several high-profile events and conferences, serving as ambassadors not only for humanity but for the principles they stood for during their mission. Their advocacy for the Thalos rights and their success in reversing the plague elevate their status to that of interstellar heroes. Meanwhile, the Delos, now recovering and beginning to thrive again, express their gratitude by initiating cultural exchanges and shared research projects. Luminera, the Delos Elder, becomes a key figure in these efforts, working closely with Emily Zhao to establish the first Thelosian Cultural Embassy, which aims to educate other species about Thelosian philosophy, art, and science. These positive developments are contrasted by the political ramifications within the Galactic Council. The exposure of sabotage and the questioning of the Council's decisions lead to a period of introspection and reform. Several members who were found to have connections to the sabotage efforts face censure and removal from their positions. This scandal prompts a broader movement for transparency and accountability within the Council, spearheaded by reformist members who seek to prevent such manipulation from occurring again. New policies are proposed and implemented, focusing on better protection and integration of lesser-known or newly discovered species. The Council establishes a new committee, tasked with overseeing first contacts and ensuring that the rights of indigenous populations are respected. This committee includes representatives from various species, including a human delegate and, for the first time, a Thelosian advisor. Back on Earth and other human colonies, the crew's return is met with celebrations and accolades. They embark on a tour, sharing their experiences and the lessons learned from their encounters with the Thelos. Schools, universities, and institutions host them, eager to hear about their adventures and the details of their cooperation with an alien race. During one poignant event, Dr. Mark Benson unveils a collaborative project between human and Thelosian scientists, a new research institute dedicated to studying and harnessing the properties of bioluminescence for medical and energy applications. This initiative promises not only to advance human technology but also to provide the Thelos with opportunities to contribute actively to galactic science and commerce. The narrative of the Odyssey's mission becomes a catalyst for change, influencing policy, fostering interspecies collaboration, and reshaping public opinion about the Galactic Council's role in regulating interspecies interactions. Captain Gwyn reflects on their journey, noting that their greatest achievement was not just saving the Thelos but helping to steer the galaxy toward a more empathetic and united future. As the chapter closes, the Odyssey's crew looks forward to their next assignment, now seasoned diplomats and champions of a cause that extends beyond mere exploration. They remain committed to spreading the message of cooperation and hope, their eyes set on new horizons and new challenges in the ever-expanding galaxy. The Odyssey's journey culminates in a grand assembly at the Galactic Hub, where representatives from multiple species gather to celebrate the successful integration of the Thelos into the interstellar community and to formally recognize the efforts of Captain Lisa Nguyen and her crew. The event is broadcast throughout the galaxy, symbolizing a new era of cooperation and understanding among the myriad civilizations that comprise the Galactic Council. Captain Gwyn delivers a keynote speech, reflecting on the challenges they faced and the lessons learned. She speaks about the importance of empathy, courage, and the relentless pursuit of what is just, not just for humans or the Thelos, but for all beings. Her words resonate, echoing the sentiments of unity and shared destiny that have come to define this new phase of galactic relations. Meanwhile, Luminera, representing the Thelos, shares her people's gratitude and their hopes for the future. She speaks about the transformative power of collaboration, highlighting how the joint efforts to save her species have led to technological and cultural advancements that benefit all. The Thelos unveil a gift to the galaxy, a massive art installation that uses their bioluminescence to create a visual representation of the galaxy's diversity and interconnectivity. It is installed in the central hall of the Galactic Hub, serving as a permanent reminder of the potential for beauty and peace through unity. Dr. Mark Benson and Emily Zhao announced the opening of the new research institute, now operational, in its first open call for joint projects between species. The institute is dedicated to exploring applications of bioluminescence and other Thelosian technologies, aiming to tackle some of the galaxy's most pressing challenges, from energy production to medical treatments. As the celebrations continue, the Council takes a moment to formalize new legislation, dubbed the Unity Acts, which provide a framework for the protection of newly contacted species and the responsible exploration of uncharted territories. These laws are a direct result of the Odyssey's mission and aim to ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. The narrative then shifts to the personal reflections of the crew as they prepare to embark on their next mission. Each member has grown, not just in their professional roles but in their understanding of the galaxy's complex fabric. They discuss their hopes for the future, their commitment to furthering the cause of peace and exploration, and the ongoing friendship between humanity and the Thelos. In a closing scene, the Odyssey leaves the galactic hub, its silhouette against the backdrop of stars symbolizing the continual journey of discovery. As they venture into new regions of space, Captain Gwyn contemplates the enduring impact of their mission. She realizes that while they set out to save a species, they ended up changing the course of galactic history. The story ends with the Odyssey approaching a distant, unexplored system, a metaphor for the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Captain Nguyen's closing log entry encapsulates the spirit of their journey. In the vastness of space, our light shines brightest when we shine together. Thus, the Odyssey's crew moves forward, forever altered by their experiences, and forever committed to spreading the light of cooperation and understanding across the stars.